Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving into something every React developer should pay attention to: code style and folder organization. It may sound simple, but these two aspects are key to creating clean, scalable, and maintainable React applications. Whether you're working solo or collaborating in a team, having a consistent code style and well-organized folder structure makes all the difference in readability, maintainability, and collaboration. So let's get into it. Let's start with React code style. When we talk about code style, we're referring to the way we write code to ensure it's clean, consistent, and easy to read. There are a few key points that I recommend following. First, naming conventions. Here's a simple guide to keep things uniform. For components, always use Pascal case. This means capitalizing the first letter of each word. For example, my component. For functions and variables, use camel case, where the first word is lowercase, and subsequent words are capitalized. For instance, my function or my variable. And for constants, it's best to use upper_snake_ case. That means writing the variable name in all uppercase and separating words with underscores, like max_count. Following these naming conventions across your project makes it much easier to understand what each piece of code represents at a glance. Next is the component structure. In modern React development, it's recommended to use functional components over class components. They're simpler and work seamlessly with React hooks. Make sure you destructure your props to avoid repetitive props.prop name calls. Here's an example of destructuring props in a functional component. It's cleaner and easier to read. Now, let's talk about code formatting. It's crucial for your code to be consistently formatted, especially when you're working in a team. Stick to a consistent indentation style, whether it's 2 or 4 spaces, just make sure everyone is on the same page. Similarly, set a line length limit, typically 80 to 100 characters, to avoid horizontal scrolling. Lastly, always use semicolons at the end of your statements. To help with all of this, tools like ESLint and Prettier are lifesavers. ESLint ensures your code adheres to quality standards by highlighting potential issues. Prettier, on the other hand, formats your code automatically according to the rules you set. Setting up ESLint and Prettier is straightforward. Just install them in your project and configure their settings. It will take care of a lot of formatting issues for you automatically. Next up is folder organization. Keeping your folder structure neat is just as important as your code style. A well-organized project helps you and your teammates find files easily and keep the project maintainable as it grows. At the project's root, you'll typically have a few essential directories. src/, this is where all your source code lives. Public/, for your static assets, such as the index.html file. Test/, where all your test files go, if you're using a testing framework. The src/ directory is where most of the action happens, and it's important to organize it well. Inside src/, you can organize your files like this. Components/, store all your reusable components here. Each component should ideally have its own file. Pages/, this is where your page-level components, like home or dashboard, go. Hooks/, for your custom React hooks. Utils/, for utility functions that are shared across your app. Styles/, for CSS files or styled components. Constant/, for constant values, like API URLs or configuration settings. Having separate folders for each type of file makes it super easy to find what you're looking for, and it keeps things modular. Each component should have its own file for clarity. Also, if you're exporting multiple components, using an index.js file for exporting makes the import statements cleaner and shorter. Don't forget to organize your assets as well. You can use an images/folder for image files and a fonts/folder for custom fonts. This way, everything stays in its proper place. Now, let's look at an example. Here's a project that's well organized with a clean folder structure. And here's a component that's a bit messy. To recap, having a consistent React code style and a well-organized folder structure not only improves readability and maintainability, but it also makes working in teams so much easier. By using naming conventions, destructuring props, setting up ESLint and Prettier, and keeping your folders tidy, you'll be setting yourself up for long-term success in your React projects. So, what do you think? Do you have any best practices you follow for React development? Drop them in the comments below, I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future tips on React development. Thanks for watching, and happy coding!